pharmacy in Malaysia. Now, I myself, I got my postgraduate qualification in clinical pharmacy, and I was one of the first ones to implement clinical pharmacy services in Malaysia. And so I should be able to share with you some really practical aspects of what's happening in clinical pharmacy in Malaysia. So in the mid-1970s, there was only one school of pharmacy in Malaysia. That's where I graduated from. So, and they already had some clinical pharmacy courses. This is way back in the 70s, yeah. In the 1980s, the university sent some staff to the USA to do the Doctor of Pharmacy program as a post-baccalaureate 2 to 3 years post-B.Pharm. So from the academic side, they were already sending for academic staff training scheme. And US at that time was one of the forerunners in the practice of clinical pharmacy. Also in the mid-80s, the Ministry of Health Malaysia sent 3 practicing pharmacists to obtain the Master of Clinical Pharmacy by mixed mode. I was one of the first 3 to go for this particular program. And at that time, University of Manchester was quite advanced in the practice of clinical in the hospital for clinical pharmacy practice unit. Yeah, so that's how the development in terms of training of clinical pharmacists in Malaysia. So by 1988, we've already implemented these services in Malaysia: therapeutic drug monitoring and total parenteral nutrition. So these are 2 specialized services which was implemented in Malaysia. And the first hospital under the Ministry of Health, I was the one who was involved in the implementation of TDM and TPN. Now these are, as I think you may know, TDM depends on clinical pharmacokinetics. And TPN is parenteral nutrition, where patients who can't take food orally, they are administered parenteral nutrition prepared by the pharmacist through the central vein. Yeah, so that the patient can survive without eating, but the food is given parenterally. Of course, for these services, there are 2 components. One is, I call it the non-clinical component, and the other one I call the clinical component. When I speak about non-clinical, for TDM, you're talking about blood analysis. When we first started the service, pharmacists did the blood analysis. And then for TPN, because you have to prepare the nutrition in big bags, that's what called TPN compounding. So TPN compounding and blood analysis are non-clinical component of the service. Whereas clinical means your direct patient-related interventions. So the pharmacists are involved in direct patient-related intervention. For example, like TPN, we were involved in the determination of changes to the nutrition regimen and also monitoring of patients at the ward level. So pharmacists are involved in both, and we were able to order for lab tests to see how the patients are progressing. So for TDM, as I mentioned, is based on clinical pharmacokinetics. After you get the blood concentration level of the drug, you need to work out the pharmacokinetic parameters. And by working out the pharmacokinetic parameters, you'll be able to come out with a dosage regimen specifically for that particular patient. So pharmacists will do the interpretation based on clinical pharmacokinetics and give the recommendation. Pharmacists will also be involved in monitoring the patient and ordering of lab indicators to manage the patient. I was able to give instruction to the ward, stop treatment, because the level is in the toxic level, or restart with a new regimen. So these are the clinical services that we first started in the 1980s in Malaysia. And now it's very well established throughout all the public hospitals in the country. Yeah? So these are called specialized services. If anyone got any question, just put up your hand, yeah? Then I will try to respond to you. None? Yeah, okay, let me just go through here. Because as we all know, I think you all know that the philosophy of pharmaceutical care came out in the 1990s by these two people called Hepler and Strand in the US. So the first time we have a philosophy of practice. Before 1990, we virtually didn't have a philosophy of practice. So 1990, Hepler and Strand came out with this concept of pharmaceutical care. And this has been accepted by WHO as the philosophy of practice for pharmacists. What is it? It's basically you're talking about pharmacotherapeutic outcome management. So you have your pharmacokinetic objectives. For example, you want your HbA1c level to be between 6 and 7, for example. So there'll be your therapeutic objective. Pharmacists will manage that particular outcome. Yeah. So there are two arms in pharmaceutical care. One is therapeutic outcome management and ensuring the quality of life. And to implement pharmaceutical care, you have clinical pharmacy services like TDM, TPM, oncology pharmacy. Remember, for cancer patients, you need to prepare a medication specifically for that particular patient, and it's called oncology pharmacy, and you also monitor the patient. So these are clinical pharmacy services already implemented quite extensively in Malaysia. So the other segmented, these are clinics run by pharmacists, managed by pharmacists in the hospitals in Malaysia. Of course, in the Western country, it became medication therapy management clinics. Yeah, so but in Malaysia at the moment, they call it medication therapy adherence clinic. So the question becomes, which we should ask, previously, the concept was, I see the doctor diagnosed for me correctly and put for me on a drug regimen and then expect magic to work. But magic doesn't work, yeah? So diagnosis correct, prescription correct, pharmacotherapeutic outcome achieved? Not necessary. Yeah? So even diabetic patients, majority of them, even though they have been diagnosed properly and prescription correct, they don't achieve the HbA1c target. So that is why someone need to manage this. And that's where pharmacists clinics are run. So patients like this who don't achieve the therapeutic objective are referred to the patient, to the pharmacist to manage. So to resolve these issues internationally, now it's been recognized, they call it medicine management clinics or MTech. Here there's a difference here. When you put management, more responsibility and more empowerment for the pharmacists. Yeah. So since 2004, Malaysia have established 15 clinics in the hospital managed by the, as I mentioned, 15 clinics by the clinical pharmacies set up in public hospitals mainly. And what are they? Diabetes clinic, anticoagulant, hemophilia, skin rheumatology, respiratory geriatric, retroviral, psychiatric, nephrology, cardiac rehabilitation, thalassemia, heart failure, hepatitis, and neurology. So these 15 clinics have been established in government hospitals in Malaysia, managed by pharmacists. So what happens? So patients not achieving pharmaceutical care objectives are referred by the doctor to the pharmacist. Yeah. In addition, clinic like anticoagulant clinic, the pharmacist is empowered to adjust the dosage based on protocol, your INR value, your thrombin time. So based on that, they're allowed to do dosage adjustments. So really, Malaysia will slowly move from MTech to medicine management clinics. Any questions? Anyone? No? Okay. Now, we also have ward pharmacists, full-time in the wards. You're full-time, so ward pharmacists, full-time in the ward. What do? They do ward rounds with the medical personnel. They do bedside counseling. They do admixture service, even add some ingredient to a. And one of them is we are looking at creating value at the pharmacist. Sorry, this should be patient. Huh? Apologize for that. Should be pharmacist-patient interface. Yeah. So not only how quickly the patient get the medication. Normally, we think you go to pharmacy, get as fast as possible, and go. So, but we're looking at but the patients want more from the pharmacist. This is the research that we have carried out, and based on this research, hopefully there'll be some change in which we can create. The other research that we are doing is, at the ward level, the doctors does the transcribing into the computer system of the medication in which the patient must get. So transcribing at the moment done by doctors. But this research that we have done showed that transcribing can be done by the ward pharmacists, and that will save doctors a lot of time to focus on disease and diagnosis. And both these research projects have been completed now, and they're in the process of writing up and for writing up. And we hope to inform the Ministry of Health that by transcribing by pharmacists will save doctors a lot of time. Yeah, so after transcribing, the pharmacist will also ensure everything in that prescription is appropriate for the patient. Okay, so this is regarding the hospital level, yeah. Now, the other thing that we have done is also a global immersion program. This is for their final year. This is for their final year Doctor of Pharmacy students. So they come to Malaysia for 2 weeks, and we expose them to all the clinical services that we have in Malaysia. So they spend 2 weeks in the hospital in Malaysia, learning about the clinical pharmacy services. So they attach to the clinical pharmacy services teaching hospital, and they also get attached to the community pharmacies, which I'll talk after this, yeah. So that is for the hospital and clinical pharmacy. Any questions from anyone before I move on to community pharmacy?
Sir, are any other colleges also can come to Malaysia and have a collaboration with you? Because in BFAM also we have in the final year hospital training and pharmacy practice.
Sure. Definitely. We at the moment I think got one more in the training, and the feedback that we got from the students who came from Al Shifa, we had very good feedback from them that they really learn a lot, which probably they're not exposed to in India. Yeah, yeah, definitely. We will welcome. We'll be talking about this with, of course, your principal and so on. Yeah.
If anyone have queries, please feel free to ask.
Now, anyone from our academic staff?
We have a subject for pharmacy practice. I'm dealing since 3 years, sir. So the main intention of our students to bring you over to Malaysia is that how many students are allotted for each year? We have 100 students total, I think 98 to 95. So how many you welcome for each batch? Either it will be in the batch wise or how?
I think it has your pharmacy practice in clinical pharmacy
Yes.
is in year 4. Am I right?
Yes, for one.
No, it should be those students who should come over.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
And to the number of students who can come at one time.
Yes, allotted.
We experienced with the first batch who came in was 6 who came in for this training, but we can accommodate more because we can split them into community and then hospital and switch and so on. But because this is small batch of training,
Okay.
so probably in my mind, community pharmacy not a problem. We have many community pharmacies, but teaching hospital, tertiary one, I think we have only probably got 2, which we can.
We need a government hospital, like we can.
It's a government hospital.
Our students, how the TPN,
Absolutely.
and TDM monitoring can be taken place, so that it is very beneficial for their studies when they go for MS.
We can work out the numbers. I can tell you that. We can work out definitely.
Along with that, you can allot faculty as well. I will be accommodating with them.
Yep.
So how much is all in one, how much the charges and the accommodation will be taken place?
Yeah, yeah.
You give the correct exact number.
We have some values from Al Shifa.
Yes.
Cost.
Thank you.
Can I ask for your students, you have hospital attachment?
Like MOU, we already go every year, every 6 months we go, and I give case studies regarding different subjects. And for the MS student, Master in Pharmacy, Pharmacology specialization, we have a subject like clinical pharmacy and pharmacology and pharmacotherapeutics. So I'm taking them for the case studies for different types of diseases pertaining to like chronic diseases or whatsoever. So it is very beneficial for us.
Perfect.
Please, you can look into that.
Definitely.
My sincere advice.
Yeah.
Request for you.
Yeah. For our students, just to share, the final year students, the last 8 weeks, 2 months, they spend the time in the teaching hospital. Last 8 weeks. Any other pointers? So surely can discuss on this collaboration. Students go to Malaysia for 2 weeks and we can give them good exposure. Any other questions? Anything from the students? They do have a semester break, isn't there? And how long is the semester break? Sorry?
It's like 2 days, sir, like 2 to 3 days.
Semester break only 2 to 3 days. Oh, I was I really don't say after they come after you are. Summer vacation, how long is that? 2 weeks. Maybe there's a time they can go there. Okay, I think I need to move on now. Let me share with you on community pharmacies. And we have a community pharmacy in the university, and I spent some time also practicing there. Yeah. And community pharmacy, I know in India, you need a diploma in pharmacy to run a pharmacy. Maybe slightly different from where Malaysia is. And I'll share you this here. So in Malaysia, we have got such a thing called community pharmacy guidelines. This is the 2016 one. You can go to a website and you can find this. Yeah, it covers a lot of things like managing the pharmacy, about the premises, what type of practice you can carry out, and SOPs. Yeah, this guideline you can find out in the website. You just type it in, you can get it. About community pharmacy benchmarking in Malaysia. In management, you have got a premise, practice, and SOPs. Yeah. Now, how to become a community pharmacist in Malaysia? So, to run a pharmacy, we call what you need a license called Type A license from the Ministry of Health Malaysia. So, in order to get the license, you must have your bachelor's degree first. You must have your 1-year housemanship. Then you become a registered pharmacist. You need to sit for a qualifying exam, pass it, and then you become a registered pharmacist in Malaysia. License. With a Type A license, you can operate a pharmacy. This is our own pharmacy in Malaysia. We call it Quest Pharmacy. Yeah. So if your students come, they can also spend time in that pharmacy. Yeah. Then Type A license, there are 2 types. One, they call it retail. That means you are dealing directly to the patient, and wholesale, you do wholesaling. But it can be and/or. So not everybody can get both. Yeah. And if the pharmacy is under a corporation, say for example, Quest International University is under a corporation, I have to also apply for a corporate license. So you need these licenses to operate a pharmacy in Malaysia. So this is our own pharmacy in Malaysia, in the university, okay? And these are the services we provide. And these services is common to all the community pharmacies in Malaysia. Of course, they handle prescription given by a doctor to make sure everything's okay with the prescription before you dispense. Then we call medicine management. In Malaysia, the community pharmacist is empowered by law to handle a lot of medications directly to the patient. For example, if a patient is diagnosed with diabetes and put on metformin, metformin under the laws of Malaysia allows the pharmacist to continue treating the patient with metformin, and which I call medicine management. So diagnosed already, put on metformin, pharmacists can continue treating the patient without having another repeat prescription. So quite a lot of empowerment there. So we call medicine management. Not only, there's a long list, I show you the long, it's a very long list. Then we call responding to symptoms using controlled medications. Responding to symptoms, and then we do blood pressure, urine pregnancy test, and cholesterol. Yeah? So these are the screening tests. I think here also they do a lot of screening tests, I think, yeah? The other empowerment in Malaysia for community pharmacy is oral contraception. So women who need oral contraception, they can get it directly from the pharmacist, including emergency contraception for the community pharmacists in Malaysia. So this is our pharmacy in Malaysia. They should show where our students get proper training, how to set up a really professionally looking pharmacy. We are training them when you come out, don't be a shop. You're not a shopkeeper. You're a professional pharmacist. Yeah, you're not a retailer where you retail and you sell. You're a professional, you need to accordingly, yeah? So we train our students, these are our students. We train our students in the pharmacy, yeah? So from year 1 to year 4, they get proper training in community pharmacy. By the time they come out, so there are 3 of us who are licensed to run the pharmacy, myself, my deputy dean, Dr. Syed Atif Abbas, and 1 more guy. So we take turns to run the pharmacy in specific times. And also in Malaysia, there is a requirement now, every pharmacy must have actually a consultation counseling room. So you can see your patients in privacy. I mean, nobody wants the health thing to be broadcast. You know, they don't like, you know, so you need to provide the privacy. So basically in Malaysia as well, there's a Registration of Pharmacies Act. That's where we all of us get registered. Quite old one, 1952, 551, yeah? Then Poisons Act. So we have another, I think you also have the Poisons Act here. I think you have a Poisons Act here as well. So in Malaysia, medicines are divided two types. One is, they call it OTC, over the counter. Over the counter in Malaysia means freely available drugs, like a Panadol, you can buy anywhere. Coffee shop also you can buy. So that's what we call OTC in Malaysia. OTC in other countries may mean different things. OTC in the Western world can mean also controlled medicine, but you're getting it over the counter. In Malaysia, very, very specific, it is freely available. Then we have the controlled medicines. Controlled medicine, we got 2 types. One is prescription medicine, you need a prescription. Then we call dispensed medicine, pharmacies deal directly to the patient. Like just now, metformin, a lot of other drugs, anti-asthmatic drugs and so on, oral contraceptives. These are called dispensed medicine. So dispensed medicine according to the laws of Malaysia. Dispensed medicine means a medicine supplied by a registered pharmacist at or from a premises where a licensed pharmacist is licensed to retail poisons for the purpose for medical, dental, or animal treatment. So pharmacists treat patients. So this is the law in Malaysia very clearly. So you're allowed to treat patients of a particular individual. And in the poison list, what we call a group C poisons. Yeah, they're under the Group C poisons, under the Poisons Act. So our Poisons Act, if you look at this, so you got Group B is the prescription medicine, Group C is the dispensed medicine. Under this Group C, so under Group C, you have got oral contraceptive, flu and cough, anti-diabetic, anti-asthmatic, topical steroids, anti-emetics, and so on. A long list. This is also a long list. So this one, pharmacists can prescribe. I use the word prescribe because you are treating, you can prescribe directly to patients. Now, what is also developed now? Remember, this is you need a prescription. Then you should say normally you must see a doctor first, and then you come and bring the prescription to the pharmacist. What has happened in Malaysia development recently, which is really good, e-consultation, e-prescription. So the patient will go to see the pharmacist. Pharmacist link up with a doctor to provide the necessary consultation. And doctor will send an e-prescription online to the community pharmacist, and community pharmacists can dispense it. So I think it's a great development. So Group B poison, last time you need to go and see a doctor. You need not see a doctor. You see the pharmacist. Pharmacist will link up online with a doctor, does an e-consultation, and then an e-prescription will come, and you are kept within the law. Yeah, so this is the latest development that we have. So I went through these services just now already, yeah? Professional practice. In terms of clarity of practice, doctors' viewpoint sometimes is different. They're not in alignment. They think everything must get prescription. Yeah, if not, no, but it's not true. Huh? Consumer, we have also a big problem of the shopkeeper image. So they need to how to progress into a professional type of setting. We have a big price war. I think he also got, I heard, price and discount war. They go into the pharmacy, only the first thing come out got discount or not. And they go shopping, which is also not good for the professional image. Professional fee. You are a profession, you are treating patient, yet you don't charge a fee because it's not in the law in Malaysia. But we are working towards getting it into a law. Yeah, so that you can charge a fee for professional services. Vaccination and immunization, Western countries, the pharmacists do it. Malaysia, we've been given the go-ahead. We can also vaccinate and immunize patients. Yeah. Privacy, I mentioned just now, is also a need. You can't be health-wise, you cannot be simply talking, I need this, I need that, and so on. Yeah. Legal empowerment, I think a lot, to me, I think a lot depends on the pharmacist. We tend to blame everybody else, but I think we sometimes need to self-reflect how to make your practice more professional. Yeah. Good. I finished with the community pharmacy as well. Just nice for your 11:10. Any questions?
Can you just tell us once again about the e-consultation?
So e-consultation for these Group B poisons like antibiotics. Normally you go to see a doctor. Doctor will give you a prescription for the antibiotic. Then you can go to the pharmacist to get the medication, or the doctor himself will dispense. But what has happened in Malaysia is that for Group B poisons, if a patient can now go directly to the pharmacist, community pharmacists will link up with a medical doctor for e-consultation. Probably the pharmacist will tell the doctor, he got this symptom, this symptom, this symptom. The doctor may ask him, take his blood pressure. Pharmacist will take the blood pressure is so much, blah, 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 blah. After the e-consultation, maybe they discuss what to give to the patient. And then the doctor will send the e-prescription by email. Happen in Malaysia now. And it's very good for a community pharmacist. So now community pharmacists in Malaysia can handle all the group C poisons. And now with e-consultation, they can also handle group B poisons.
Recently, I have worked in Saudi Arabia in King Khalid Hospital for 9 years in Riyadh as a clinical pharmacist and pharmacist, and in Makkah Security Forces Hospital for the past 7 years. So recently I joined this VIPER around 2020 December. So from my experience, what I realize in India, we don't have a clinical pharmacist. Only few multinational, international hospitals like Apollo or KIMS we have. But what I see from my end is clinical pharmacist is not that much helpful in India, sir. To establish this, what is my main personal impression is that we, the students of VIPER, we want to visit your institution, and we want not like community pharmacy. Community pharmacy is not there also in India. Hospital pharmacist and clinical pharmacist training only. What would happen is electronic consultation. That is through their, we have like Aadhaar card here in India, like we have a registration number, medical record number, MRN. From MRN, but mobile, they will call and they will give the consultation services. They will ask the patient, ask the consultation services, and the patient get the consultation to the hospital. And finally, it reaches to the doctor. When the doctor get the consultation for the patient, it is already recorded the previous consultation and the family history, prior medications which he is taking from according to the MRN number which they put on the computer. The doctor can already see. It is like that it was. But in India, few of the hospitals are given, except they will just bring the prescription, because even a illiterate patient like that electronic prescription is very good, so that they can, no need to explain for the patient. He will already know prior history, family history, prior prescriptions, medication history, what are the drug interactions taking place. It already will be assembled in the computer, already programmed in the computer. And when I put any, it will come back, drug interactions, whatever the patient is getting allergic to the drugs. What I mean, is it there in Malaysia as well? I hope.
A good point. Now, unfortunately, we don't have the central patient data system, which is shared in the public hospitals. They do have, but in the private setting, they practice independently. So we don't have. So this, when we come to a pharmacist, he won't be able to see the previous history and so on. Not yet. We don't have. Yeah. So definitely they'll be useful. Very useful. Yeah. Yeah.
the red line will come if the patient has having any prior allergic reaction, because this is the main things which are going on, sir. That's the problem in India as well. So it should be, it should be established. What I feel is, because many of the drugs are not that much, what to tell you, that much. Pain in words, and the doctor also cannot understand, and this is the problem going on. Whatever it is, I just want to let you know if this can be established in your place, and so that it is beneficial when I get my students there and we have the collaboration. I am planning for the other. If we go to the good multinational companies, if other students are hired in a very well recognized international hospitals, it will be better for their future.
Definitely.
Go through.
So of course, when students do come over, if they do, they'll be in a tertiary hospital where the patient data is available both at the pharmacist level and doctor's level. I'm earning for one student to ask me. I'm a student. Ask me anything, yeah. They need PBL.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Do we have any difference in license between the hospital pharmacy and the community pharmacy
In Malaysia.
in Malaysia?
Good question, yeah. So if I go back, the hospital, once you qualify the B Farm honors, 1 year housemanship, that means after 5 years, then you sit for and you become a registered pharmacist. You don't need these licenses to work in the government hospital. For at this level already, you can work in the government hospitals or any hospital. This license is only meant for community pharmacy. Does that answer your question? Okay.
Sir, do we need to write any exam to get the license?
You need to get this license. This license you don't need, but you need, every pharmacy student must sit for a qualifying exam set by the Ministry of Health. Now, it doesn't matter from which institution you come out, they sit for this common exam. Only after passing this common exam, they can sit for the housemanship. Yeah, did that answer your question? Okay, thanks. Next question I'll ask is, so far I have females who are asking me. I want to ask one male to ask me also. Yeah, please, yeah.
So for controlled drug substances, how do you handle the drug abuse in Malaysia over there?
I think
That's okay.
how many?
Just having they get we say like controlled substances.
Yeah.
How do you manage that
How do you manage
in
that?
dispensing?
Okay, good question. So I think the question was, if I can get down to this one here. Yes, additive drugs and so on. There are strict laws for this, and pharmacies are also involved in personally dispensing this. Yeah, and the strict records must be kept. Records must be kept, and the enforcement unit, there's a Ministry of Health enforcement unit to come and check, and they even count the balance of the tablets for psychiatric drugs and also for narcotic drugs. Is that what you're asking? Yeah.
Any different?
No, type A license is for community pharmacists. You need a pharmacist to get a type A license. There are other licenses, type B and so on. You don't need a pharmacist, but they cannot handle the poisons. They can handle non-poisons, non-poison pharmaceutical items. Yeah, is that, yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Yeah, okay. So thank you very much. Thank you for the questions. I'm very happy. Yeah, and in actual fact, what I'll do, you will have my handphone number, and anytime any of the students want some information, just WhatsApp me and I will respond. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let's all take a break for tea and snack and gather back here by 5 minutes, in 5 minutes. Thank you.
Being there for last 20 years in academia in Malaysia, we are the best setup and training in the whole country. I worked for many government pioneer universities like what you have in India, VIPER, something like we have there. The old institution called USM, UM and so on, the one which established the Singapore University and US. So those universities also don't have this setup. They don't have this kind of industrial pharmacy settings. I worked there. I've been there for a long time. So this is something was lacking in the country. So proudly to present that we have a different setup and way of looking for industrial pharmacy education. To begin with, in Malaysia, just now I think, like my dean told you guys, we look into these three main categories: clinical, community, and also industrial pharmacy. But very unfortunate for last 2 decades or before that, the emphasis is given only clinical and then slightly on community. the least bothered was industrial pharmacy. Only that is the reason why not much development. And plus academia, research and other, you can say. But under the direction of our respected dean, we decided, though the whole nation is going in one direction, that is emphasizing either clinical or community, that we will emphasize equal weightage will be given to these three critical areas, including industrial pharmacy. So, though the government, the Pharmacy Board of Malaysia tells us very minimal to include in the curriculum, but we included double than the minimum requirement. Double. We know the future, the requirement. The pharmaceutical industries in Malaysia heavily rely on expatriates. Every department, 90% over, they don't have local people to work there. Right? So why this was not developed properly, then there is no supply. Okay. So then to straight go to our product, what we have prepared, and we're mainly focusing on today about industrial pharmacy training. Students will be introduced to the concept of comprehensive characteristics of pharmaceutical industry. They will also introduced to the Malaysian pharmaceutical regulatory control, method, registration, legal issues, practical exposure, principles of manufacturing, quality management, layout, and pharmaceutical industry. This last part is common for throughout the world, as long as US FDA guidelines, which includes India, any part of the world, okay, JMB. But specific to the Malaysian regulation, also we cover. So what we do, we send the students right after the 6th semester to industry compulsory. It is also counts the marks for your overall cumulative plus pass or fail. 2 months, 1 month compulsory in sterile production, 1 month compulsory in non-sterile production. So you need to get knowledge on both sides. Non-sterile could be solid, semi-solid, anything, liquid, anything. Sterile also can be anything as long as it's a sterile product. So we'll take them with respect to all these things in 2 different locations. We have collaboration type with B Brown, Sun Pharma, there's a SM, there is a Biocon, we have Pharmaniaga, we have Iron Medical, plenty of industries are there. So we send students different locations. Now, what we expect under this overall courses is to training is to student to get a knowledge on layout importance in pharmaceutical industry. Of course, we study in GMP, we study in quality assurance, some courses are there, but practically they must be able to make their own layouts. So manufacturing process in pharmaceutical industry, complete process, complete, sterile and non-sterile, major dosage forms. Quality management in pharmaceutical industry, overall quality management, it includes your quality assurance, in-process quality control, QC, policies making, everything, okay? So what we expect from this course is to describe requirements of fundamental layout of pharmaceutical industry, manufacturing process, flow in pharmaceutical industry, the different flows, right? Personal flow, material flow, process flow, or even your raw material flow. So system in pharmaceutical industry, there'll be tons of documentation when the GMP comes in, or in the local regulations comes in, and especially when you work on the US FDA, ANDA products, you have more and more abbreviated new drug application, or if you come to NDA, some more new drug application. So you have a lot of documentation work to do. It's a huge job prospect, especially in India. The regulatory is huge job prospect, and you can grow. And also in QA, whoever go in the QA, you can expect your future. You can go until vice president level. QA is the one route which takes you very fast into higher management. So these are the transferable skills we are looking in. First of all, like teamwork. When they go to the training, they're not going alone. 3, 4, 5 people in a group. Okay, you have a teamwork. Your participation and communication skills, so which we build them in through the PBL. The teamwork they will do industrial reports, they will have some presentations, attachment logbook, and so on. I will take you to the logbook after this. Critical thinking skills we built in through this, problem solving skills, lifelong learning skills, and time management. I gave you yesterday one example. One of our students went, they were like shocked. 1 minute late, called for counseling. Not only just student, including their staff also. So that is we took very serious, and we tell them for industry, time is money. Anything delay, loss of money. Anything you do more faster in a shorter time, more productive. Okay? So these are all things I list out here. What are how they develop the skills here, and then how the skills assessments is been done, what type of rubrics we have. Probably we share the slides later, maybe for yourself go through. You can, I don't much go through here. I will be interested to show this part mainly. Okay, this is something technology transfer, formulation development, your training hands-on, day to day year from first semester until the last semester. We'll be exposing the facility in which we have a most advanced instruments and multi-accessory instruments, which has a range of 4 mm until 23 mm diameter. So you can make effervescent tablets. We have D tooling, we have B tooling. You can make tablets like your pantoprazole or anything which is a small amount of drug, 20 mg, 10 mg, 4 mm, 3 mm. You can make effervescent formulations like vitamin C and so on until 23 mm. So wide range of, then we have fully automatic capsule machines. We have a fully automatic packaging machines. Now, if I train you on a small piece of machine, when you go to the industry, it's like again start from scratch. But our students, they're fully prepared before they go into industrial training. In-house, we train them in depth. With our facility, we are blessed to have this facility, which is of GMP grade. Along with this, we do have another facility, cytotoxic drug reconstitution and sterile preparation lab, which is according to the Ministry of Health Malaysian standards. So again, full-fledged air flow, material flow, finished product flow, air pressure differences, negative, positive pressure, all kind of requirements when taken care in the facility, and that we teach the student with practically, so that when they go to the real world, nothing new for them, and they outstand the other university students because they are already exposed to everything inside continuously. It's not the 1 or 2 times for all the courses. Okay, so we have a GMP grade facility, though we don't go for certification. Every standards are there for tablet, capsules, with the full range of wet granulation line, dry granulation line, with the FBD automated strip packing machine, and both tablets and capsules. And we are capable of handling critical materials. The whole facility is built such a way you can handle photosensitive drugs in a controlled lux lights. Lux is the unit to measure the light. So if as long as you are 100 lux and below, you can manage, you can expose any photosensitive drug, can be manufactured very comfortably. Okay, and also hygroscopic materials. It can control the humidity below 30. In Malaysia, average humidity is 80%. You just stand outside, you feel like you're taking bath already. It's so humid, just like your coastal area here, Goa and other part of your coastal area. But inside the lab, if like that, your product gone dead. So we need to have very specialized instrument, climate control. So we can bring down 30% and below are super dry. And then you can manage those photosensitive, light sensitive, heat sensitive. So critical formulations and materials can be handled in this. So once my student know how to do that, he outbeat the other students when you go to industry, because they never thought of that. Okay, so these are the few facilities. Quickly, I take you through, like FBD. We have a wet granulation machine, rapid mixing granulator. This is a tablet machine. We're talking about detooling, B-tooling with the bilayer, and also range from 4 mm to 23 mm. Capsule machine, fully automated capsule machine. This is a tablet machine. Then this is something special we brought. It can take capsule and tablet. It can take PVC, aluminum and aluminum. It can go until 4 mm. Very thick packaging, which can protect your products from light, heat, and all the shockproof. Very high quality material can be packed. So that training all given. You can see this facility here. The various rooms are there. These all instruments are parked in each, and the centralized AHU system and different change room and all. I didn't get much slides because I have to just touch based on with the time limit. We have a fantastic change rooms, all kind of training. We have quarantine room for material. We have IPQC room. We have a raw material storage room. We have a tools accessory storage room, maintenance room, full-fledged industrial setup. So that students when go in real world, they don't have any shock that what is this? I need to study everything from zero. No, you're ready for market. Okay. And also we provide various services, commercial services, production, scale up. Somebody have a research product, you can come to our facility. We will help you to do scale up and technology transfer, which can be ready for commercialization. Technology transfer, because this is just to name one, capsule capacity is like 100,000 capsules per hour. Tablet maybe around 60,000 tablets per hour, the maximum speed it can run. So we have a wide range of a facility. So this is something I was sharing about how uniquely we do our industrial education, industrial pharmacy education to our students right from first year to third year, and how they are trained in sterile and non-sterile facilities 1 month each. And after that, they do have a option, like just now our dean was telling to you, there is a compulsory housemanship, right? That is for clinical and community. If you want to go be in industry, you can do your housemanship in industry. We have recognized industries where you can go and attach yourself for 1 year. Then after that, you are ready to be a registered pharmacist. Now imagine my student at third year level itself, ready to work in industry. When you go to houseman, he will again outstand the other students from other universities. We are given 2 months training, sterile, non-sterile, plus throughout these 3 years, all this regular practicals, regular preparation, everything they do. Even their final year research project, if it's something to do with tablets, capsule, powders, sterile products, they can use this facility all the time. And we have a policy, centralized policy, so that they can use anytime. Just need to go through the documentation and use it. So all the facilities are there with respect to. That's why I want to say the title also I modified, not about industrial, industrial pharmacy education in Malaysia. I want to say industrial pharmacy education in Quest, because we are the best in the country. So from my knowledge, since I said all the top universities I work there, so nobody has this setup, nobody has this thing. Okay. If any question in between before I switch to the next topic, anyone has anything to comment, to share, or anything you want to clarify? Anyone? Anyone interested to come and attach with us for training? You have any research product post to your students? You want to upscale? We can upscale. We can have a contract manufacturing for you, scale up, technology transfer. We can help you how to commercialize it in various markets. So a lot of options which we are discussing with your higher management later. Probably MOU will be put in, and then you can, look into this. I didn't get the slides for the sterile facility because of short time. I just focus on this main. We do have a sterile facility again. Both we provide. Okay. So even though I'm moving to the next topic because of time is so short, you can ask me back anything previous. Okay. So that I slowly go in is also more interesting. This is something to do with our research. Our students are 1 full year research in 4 years, 1 full year, 1 semester for proposal, 1 semester is for bench work. Okay, so I share some of works we have done and also overall research in especially herbal product development, which is a major interest in our university as well as country level. I slowly take you through my whole life experience in Malaysia. Of course, in India, I have other experiences. Some of the products I made, one I want to tell is your black fungus, the liposomal injection, amphotericin B. I was one of the project member of that, the project which I developed in my career, which is in the market. So I work in the CIPLA, CFL, and so on, many companies here. But I'm only sharing about Malaysian part now. Okay. Now, talking about herbal product, so projected market by 2030 around 350 billion USD. Why I'm showing this slide to you? When I was like you, student, even after graduating, we look down at herbal products. We think it is nothing. But when I exposed, when I come out from the industry, then I realized it's a huge market. As far as companies like Himalaya and all, they're doing very well. Dabur and so on. Okay, so you see the amount, what is going to happen by 20. Currently, it's already 151. I'm just taking 2 years before data. Okay, the huge potential. So Malaysia is including India. Now, despite that, we have some problems like in the market, no major new ingredients coming. And if comes, it is not properly scientifically verified. But are you done? But when it comes to commercialization, difficult. Like I say, light sensitive, heat sensitive, material is not available, quantity is not enough, no continuous supply. For 1 year I can do, after that I cannot do. It grows only in 30 years or 100 years once the plant. How we can sustain it? Okay. Inconsistent supply chain, like I said just now. So that is this alternative plant biotechnology, which I don't touch today. This alternative is a plant biotechnology where you can produce what you want within a short period of time, specific compound from that plant. Is another altogether. So now, herbal product development, few things you have to make sure. One is you have an active pharmaceutical ingredient properly standardized, the proper formulation, suitable formulation based on their physicochemical properties, and then it should have a proper manufacturing, stable product. You can do wonders in research, but when it comes to the production flow, failure. You can't produce it in mass. There's a waste. So the product will never see the light. So you have to take this point as well. And then after that, you might even stuck at this level, regulatory affairs. Then the regulatories of various countries, various locations will stop you registering that product, claiming the usage. They'll ask more and more evidence. Touch it. So now talking about this, most common problem with the herbal product is the hygroscopic, photosensitive, thermoliable, heat sensitive, physical chemical properties issues because the multi-constituents. And another biggest problem is the yield. If you can resolve this thing, allopathic medicine and the herbal based be more or less they're in the same condition. But these are continuous problem with the herbal. Okay, so how to come to few of the problems is this is the key part. When you do the extraction and after the extraction you do the drying, this is the place where these all these properties are modified or damaged either in a positive way or negative way. So you must understand this process, and this process, if you know that, choose the right extraction solvents process and choose the right process of drying. As long as material is in dried form, it is very simple technique, it is more stable. If it's a liquid or semi-solid, it is less stable. If you can dry it effectively without losing the efficiency, then you will say, then you can make whatever formulation you want because the techniques are there. So these are the two critical things to take into account when you develop a product. And then the whole things will interlink. I give a simple example. One of the famous plant in Malaysia, like Tongka Ali, Eurocoma longifolia. This is for a sexual power enhancement for male, especially very popular product, and it has been sold like anything on the on the streets. Herbal powder, bark powder, anything. But what is the proof? Or traditionally used, it has been proven. But do you have a scientific data? No. But later it is developed. Now it has been funds been given. I just explain you the cost. If it is took a fresh, raw, the roots of the tree, it's around USD2 per kg. If you take the pure compound of that, it goes to 1.5 million per kg. You see the difference. As more and more scientific things goes in, standardization goes in, purification goes in, then you bring the value there. But this plant takes time to grow. So the cost, huge difference. Same way for your product as well. If you're doing some functional foods, this is coming now something to do with regulatory. You go and you register as a food or dietary or cosmetic or maybe phytomedicine, then the regulatory also costs some cost and the product price goes up and up. Of course, production as well. So you need to take all this into the account where you want to stand your product. You want to call it as a functional food, dietary, cosmetic, or phytomedicine. It's not just production, regulatory itself, a lot of tons of documents to be done. Okay, so this is something you need to take into account. This is an example. There, some products I have developed on this and they are already in the market in Malaysia. So these are the production plant where the API is prepared and they do spray drying. Initially we started with freeze drying and the freeze dry is so expensive, time consuming. Then we develop a technique with some pharmaceutical excipients, end up spray drying, similar activities, similar stability, and ready for dispatch as a raw material API for further formulation to whoever interested in that. Okay. So add a relevant carrier can even cut costs, your process costs, like freeze dry to spray dry is 10 times difference in the cost. 10 times. So that I can bring down the cost of the material. Then it is more affordable, more sustainable. Okay. So this is another example which I worked upon. Previously it was my PhD project, this part, and later it was been purchased by industry for 10 million over. The rights were taken over, and then then again they hire me back as a consultant. Then I start working on that. This is anti-cancer product, locally known as Misai Kuching. This is orthosiphin staminus extract. So you look at the condition. If it is in 30 and 55 RH or 25 to 25 RH temperature, the condition is still okay. This desiccator one. When you moment you expose to the high humidity, look at what happening to that. The extract, final extract. This is another notorious extract I worked upon, Rosal antioxidant extract. You look at the weight gain by this extract. This is a standardized extract. How much weight is increased when the humidity increases? It's a 25 humidity. It is very dry and no weight gain, no moisture gain. But in 85 RH, it gains the weight very fast. And when it happens, it's unstable material. You can't manage as a product, end up this lumps formation, and then you will not even have stability for long range of products you prepare. Whatever you prepare, failure occur. Almost it's going to see the light and product cannot be in the market because of stability issues. So these are some examples from this material. We have registered some products in Malaysia and Australia for various colon, breast cancer, and also for in the management of the synthetic drug. Chemotherapy also can be as adjuvant. Okay, so these products are there. Probably I'll skip this because it needs more explanation. Just to cut short the story, when I was on PhD and 10 years of project was going on this, my clinical team who doing clinical trials, they have become problems with the patients who have serious cardiovascular diseases. When we give this, they are participating in cancer treatment, but they are also cardiovascular patient. They were having some issues when this one is given to them. And our clinical pharmacists were scratching their head, what's going on? Everything has been established. what's going on. I accidentally found when I was doing the SCM and the elemental analysis of this extract, because that is my job as a formulation scientist. I want a proper formulation. I need a depth information of material. So I found accidentally potassium, very high percentage of potassium inside. And that was the reason the clinical pharmacists were having a problem with the clinical trials. So I just share back those information to my team, and they have to come out with a label. They have to come out with the instruction to the physicians that clinical trial with this potassium amount not recommended for serious patients. Cardiovascular patients not recommended. If recommended, also must be under supervision. So oneness can happen. I'm doing something on the characterization, but help is going to the interdisciplinary, to the clinical pharmacists, the clinical trial team. And they were very happy that this finding helped to resolve the problem, even though it is nothing to do with me. But nothing happening to my formulation with that potassium. For them, it's a big difference. Almost the product was going to be failed because continuous causing the issue. So this is something we brought customized machine in that where I'm a consultant. So this is a customized machine which brought from Austria, which cost us 10 million, I think 10 million over ringgit. And then this is super extractor which has continuous recovery of the solvent. Capacities around 500 liters, 100 kilogram of material can be put in, and you can expensive solvents like alcohol and all, we can recover back. 80% ore can recover back and reuse back, because that is a huge cost. And then you reduce the overall production of this. And these are a few spray dryers. We have one from UK, Germany, one from India. These are meant with customized again inside to fit our requirement so that we don't damage our active. And we can produce until 100 kilo in this. And these are few awards we won throughout life, and this some to share with you. So patents, some works, the anti-tumor studies, and we do. Okay, this is something quickly. Somebody's from pharmacology department here. So this is something to share with you guys. That though the regulatory don't ask any pharmacological testing as a QC test, but since we are working on a multi-drug, we need to make sure the drug is working as a finished product. So we established one pharmacology dynamic studies, anti-angiogenic studies, to test on the blood growth inhibition of each product of each batch. And we make it as a compulsory for each batch QC test before we release the batch in the market. That is our side effort to make sure the product is really effective. Okay, this is the images which the rat iotic assay they do. These are the new blood cells growing with the where there is no drug is been taken. These are some other images where the different samples been tested. You can see there is no blood vessels growth, no blood vessel. Got also these are maybe a positive or negative control one. So this is the testing one, so that we make sure the product is really working. Then we release in the market. It's an extra step. Regulatory never ask us. We don't need to do that, but we do that because we want to build the confidence into patients that product is really efficient. Okay, I think this is the same extract but finished product, efflorescent product. Just to mention about stability issues, if you keep it in a desiccator or if you keep in a controlled humidity, and if you do the wet granulation, the WG stand for wet granulation, and DG dry granulation. So there's a difference. This, if you can see the percentage of the active ingredient, it drops if you do the wet granulation and keep it at 40. If you in a DG, it's stable, and if you do the dry granulation, it's much better. Somewhere here means even your granulation process can impact. Okay, probably this one. Yeah, just to share with you guys. This is something extraordinary study we carried out on the tablet issues, troubleshoot, like capping, layering, lamination was occurring for one of the product. So we need to understand what's happening with the extract with the excipient. So we went for confocal study to understand the air pockets inside and how the lamination and capping occurring. Then we identify the intensity of the air pockets inside. Then we change one of the excipient, which is anti-capping agent, and then that resolve our problem. So we change that anti-capping agent as a diluent as well as anti-capping dual action so that we achieve the problem. to the depth of the problem and resolve for permanently. We need to make sure that new ingredient what we choose must be compatible with your active. Okay, so these are some just to share with you guys the patterns and all. I think maybe I go with fast here. This is another ongoing project. It's all going to launch the product very soon from Quest. It is standardized plant extract of Senalata, which is for antifungal activity. And we have few products. We have won few awards for this, gold, silver, and so on in different international innovation competitions recently. I think I'll skip this part. I have very limited time. This is to share that when you decolorize material, you might lose your active and you also lose your activity. So sometimes you say, hey, herbal product looks very weird. Its color is not good. It doesn't has the aesthetic. Of course, we have many other ways to improve, but when we tried this, lost the activity, lost the active everything. So that is something you must keep in mind when you herbal drug. You need to know the chromophores. This is the summarized back few selected commercial products in the market, and this is still ongoing. Is going to be now very soon. In conclusion, understand the physical and chemical behavior of the extract, which we to do early stage when you do the extraction and drying. If you fix that problem there, then the journey will be very smooth. So adopt various formulation techniques to overcome that. If formulation techniques, process, modification, packaging cannot resolve, then we must focus on the extraction process at the beginning itself. Then resolve the issue at the beginning by suitable additives process. Like I said just now, we have a problem, freeze drying, still stickiness, go for spray drying. Change the carrier. Change the process parameters so that your active will be stable and your formulation, production, large scale production, everything will be smooth. Or else you may resolve 90% problem. When last 10% come, will stop your product launching. So you can't move forward, have to go back again to the zero. So understand it from beginning, the whole process. Okay. So with that, thank you very much. And this is our university entry point. So just to share with you guys, maybe if some of you come later, you will be here with us to experience our facilities and our setup. Okay. I open the floor for any question for this and as well as previous one. I think I'm in time, 12:15. So anything, please feel free to ask. Sorry, I didn't get it. Okay, I was just now showing was a pharmacodynamic. It is depending on the what it is meant for, the product meant for, okay, and how critical that activity it is.
Yes.
So that is pharmacodynamic part.
Yes.
For pharmacokinetic part, if you look at just now one slide I show you here. Okay, just for an example, which category you're going for, then you have to go for completely. So some of the products which I show you as anti-cancer products, which is in TG in Australia as well as in Malaysia, we have completed 22 to December, 3 different site clinical trials. We did it. Preclinical also done, clinical also done in India, China, and Europe. So where the preclinical trials were taken. So complete range of pharmacokinetic work has to be done in preclinical as well as in clinical. Otherwise, you will not get this grade. In Malaysia, in India, it is phytomedicine. In Malaysia, we call it botanical drug. If you want to be labeled prescribed drug, botanical drug, then you must do. If you want to just go food functional, just register, notify. If you want dietary supplement, no need. Cosmetic, no need. The moment you come here, you need it. What category, what regulatory category you're going for? It's the same US FDA guidelines for botanical drug. We adopt 100% for botanical. And phytomedicine also more or less is the same under Ayush and all. You have to do all those preclinical and clinical trials in order to categorize in this section.
Sir, one more question. In market, there are so many extracts are available. Yeah, for example, if I want to buy capsaicin, if I go through the sites, then Google or Amazon, if I go through the different sites, I'll get different cost of the product. How can I judge that I can use that compound or not? Because one of the compound, one of the capsaicin I'll get in 100 rupees. One of the capsaicin compound I'll get it in 1000 rupees. How can, on what basis I have to choose that compound, sir?
We have a same big issue problem going on in Malaysia, online marketing. We have many platforms. Today they come, tomorrow they disappear on the online because they are not legal. They are not registered products. I'm not sure how the Indian regulatory agency controlling this. That's why we have a search engine on the regulatory website itself. We call it Malaysian, what do you call, I stuck with the word. We have a regulatory agency, Malaysian regulatory agency, where there's a website in which for all the consumers, any product available, legal product available in the country, you put it by brand, put it by drug, put it by manufacturing name, whatever you call it. You can have a choice there. If it is registered, there's a registered number, MAN number we call it. So that number is there, then you can straight away proceed. I don't know how is the system now for the online marketing here, because when I was here that time, not much online marketing. This is a big problem. Fake product come in, they claim so and so. So that's why on the label what it states is a phytomedicine or functional or dietary or what. So if it is mentioned that, then there's a number accordingly. So you online, when you take the picture, you enter that number, enter that product name, verify it, then only purchase. If it is according to this, then definitely it is of standards of pure compound. Doesn't matter what brand, what cost of, depending on the overseas product, local product, it is cost may be different. Yeah, but registered, then you are safe. It looks like a generic versus branded products. But first thing is, this is not clear. I am buying this product, but at this price, which has been advertised in the way that, oh, this is equal to this. Then we just, oh, but I'm giving you 20% discount. We just take it. But actually, it's not this great product. It is not standardized extract. It is just a normal material, maybe the grinded, fresh, dried material made into a tablet. So that's why efficiency is not there. Cost is lower, but we get attracted as a consumer, and then nothing benefit. And sometimes damage occur, adulteration. That is another problem. I hope you answer. I'm just one question from postgraduate students. There are a lot of potential things for you guys to do here. And even in India, a lot of options available.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
How much time have been taken to market the drug?
Okay. Good question. If I want to do this, I can do it in 3 months.
3 months.
2 months. If I want to do this, maybe half a year or a year with proper studies. This is also more or less same. This took us, current one, the product, 12 years.
From the start.
Because we were planning for no NDA, new drug application, patent. If you want to just do clinical trials, preclinical trials, also will take 5-6 years. It depends on your plant complication, your material complication.
Have you found any adverse effects from the consumers?
On this or the other part?
Anyone?
Complex
adverse effects.
I think I just explained one just now about complaints of cardiovascular patients when they were taking this product. The parameters of heart disease were going upside down. Then, because we have scientifically verified, validated so in detail that how come what is missing in, and accidentally I found that potassium part, then we can't resolve. It's too late. Product has been already. Just change the label. You have to be smart enough so that you can save millions of money. Just change the label. Yet the product in the market, we save legally. We also save for the patients. So then we are working on how to overcome that for serious patients. Just for one serious, I can't leave the whole market. So we give that under supervision of the physicians or cardiovascular physicians, so they can take care of it.
Thank you.
So if anyone need anybody working herbal product, we can help you in a way how to bring it. We have specialized instruments where we can upscale it, commercialize it. Especially on the active part. Formulation India is much advanced, especially on the active part, which more on the scientific part.
One of the problem while making tablets using granulation, that is capping and lamination. That is the image you have shown through the confocal microscopy.
Yeah. So usually what happens is you can even identify here. Here also you can identify. But one thing, this is extract. You see two types of extract materials, particles I have. This is spray dried. One is with shrunk, one is a very smooth. Itself they've got big problem in flow. They cause a big problem in the flow, whether it's a powder in the during processing or even manufacturing. So tableting. So this particle shape and size itself has a big influence already. Okay, but now I try to resolve with the excipients and technique, but still not resolving. So then I have to enter inside this. To enter inside this, as a whole formulation, we try to understand first what are the elements. That was my interest. Accidentally, we found this. That's a different story. So we go in this, we understand first. Then at the end, the whole tablet will be analyzed in depth. Where are the air pockets? Is there at the edge of the tablet? Are they at the middle? Are they at the both up and down layer, which means capping and lamination? So we understand in depth first, then choose the right excipient to resolve. The same thing, unless you don't diagnose your disease, you can't give a proper treatment. So we try to diagnose first what is the issue, then we come with a perfect solution. Oh no, try anti-capping, try two combination of diluents, try two combination of this and that. Nothing is involving. So when we know the depth of the issue, we choose only one excipient, resolve, and then product stable forever. Yeah. Any more? Thank you very much, and feel free to contact. I think maybe escape. First slide. First slide. I think I've given my. I didn't give my email ID here. But if you just put this name and the Quest International University, all the profile is there, contact is there, email is there, everything is there. If anybody want to communicate and interested in collaboration, work, and feel free to write in. Okay, just go to the QIU website and my name, then the email ID, everything is there. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. I now request everyone to have their lunch and gather here by 1:30. Thank you. 1:13.